comedy is. I mean, you got to share who you are, right? You got to have your unique experiences, the way that you walk in and talk.
It's Jimmy.
What's going on, Jamie?
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm chilling in Chicago with family. Imagine the last couple of months, like how the world has changed, like upside down, literally.
Literally. It's intense.
Are you doing well?
Trying to listen to people and get the, I don't know. It's just like, feel weird promoting today, but hey.
I wanted to ask you, what was the kind of the beginning stage for you to want to do this special? Because you've taken a little bit of time off. I mean, you've done a lot of comedy festivals and stuff like that, but like your own stand-up special, what was the kind of the thinking behind it to put this one out, and why did you want to do it in a sense?
I did a special in 2006, then I did another one in 2010, and then I did Heckler, and then I think, you got to try to do one. I hadn't done one for a while, and then the whole business kind of changed in terms of, where you can put specials out. Do you get a DVD? Do you get streaming? And now it just became much more of a streaming thing, and so I was like, I just gotta put something out. This is my material. This is my stuff. You get up to a point with material, and then you want to put it out there, and then move on to the next thing.
I like this one in particular. Obviously, followed your career for years and seen a lot of your work, but this one was interesting in a sense where it's almost a look back kind of at your life, and it's a mature version of you in a lot of ways and you brought a lot of yourself into it, which you always, I feel like the best comedy in general, anything, even acting, is when you bring your own like real stories, real experiences, because people can always relate to that. I think that's what makes comedy great, is you can tell when someone's bullshitting and creating stories and crap that's not real and authentic, but when you bring yourself to it, I think that's what makes the best comedy, because it's real and relatable. And I felt that you did that a lot in this special. You brought your experiences, your life, your history with movies, in a sense, your career to it. Tell me the process behind it to make it a lot more personal and kind of, almost in a sense, it was a retrospect of a lot of your life and career.
Well, I talk about stuff that's like, in my, just like what right? So you gotta be like relatable to people. So I have like, I talk about some of the movies I've done. I talk about how people recognize me. I talk about, what they say to me. And so I kind of have to, let people know how my life is, make it relatable, and so then I try to make it funny, and then I go into more of my perspective on things, and then I go into my beliefs about things. But yeah, I mean, in the beginning of the special, like, that's what comedy is. I mean, you gotta share who you are, right? You gotta have your unique experiences, the way that you walk in and talk. If you have the lunch at Taco Bell, yours is going to be a different lunch than my lunch. And so, even though we're both talking about Taco Bell, so it's kind of what it is. You have to just kind of share your own thing.
No, I feel that's what makes it special and unique, that no one can, people can relate to it, but no one has the same story. Even if you're doing the same things, everyone's got a different perspective on things in that way. After all these years, you said you've kind of been off from stand-up. How tough was it for you to, maybe easy in that way, to come back with the stand-up special? Is this something that's been brewing for a while, that you were ready for and finally found the time to do it? Is it tough to kind of navigate between acting and doing stand-up comedy? Because they're different mediums in a sense, and the way they're projected, but how do you approach that?
It's very different because, one is out there and you're doing it every night, and you're out there working and adjusting and putting more jokes in and adding more, and then, and taking away. And the other one is, you hand a script and you basically just, go there, do it, shoot it once, and then you're done. With this one, you're constantly evolving it, rearranging it, fixing it, and it's different. But there's so many more outlets now to do comedy, and I was always doing comedy, but I was like, comedy for a while was quiet, and then around 2015 it exploded with podcasts and Netflix and streaming, and now we have
Yep.
so many different places where content is everywhere. So that's when I really said, I think it's time for another one. But for a while, I was just doing it, and I wasn't really getting so much. I was just kind of leveling out. I was just Jamie Kennedy, comedian. People know me, and I was like who I was, but I wasn't like moving to the next level. But now I believe with your social media and your marketing, you can really connect with the people that like you, so you can create your own vortex of success. So I think you have to give them content every couple years, fresh.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I did it.
So is that kind of the plan? I mean, do you want to get back into more regular stand-up work, or do you want to like maybe accumulate enough stuff where it feels fresh after, and people kind of almost lust for it after every year or every 2 years? What's your kind of approach now after you've done this special? How you want to approach it going forward?
Well, I think that the goal is to go and have your material, put it out, have your fans consume it, and then, I've toured this special enough, it's done. Now I have to go out and work on new stuff, so I almost have enough for another special, because I shot a 90-minute special and only 60 was used, and between that and the time this was shot, I have about another hour, so then I'll do that. So the goal is to just put stuff out there, and then, go from clubs, and then go from that to theaters, and then, so the bigger venues, until I can take it to where, I feel like I've exhausted my comedy, where people consumed it enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
I want to try to see how, we're doing it a long time, and now it's time to really market it, get it out there, and so that's the goal. It's so hard to talk about all this with the world around us. It's like, I guess in a way, the comedy is needed more than ever, but understanding people is needed more than ever. But, that's what it is, though. I'm just trying to, create it for myself.
Well, I just always felt comedy brings people together. I think that's one, whether the world's divided or whatever's going on, bad times, right? I always felt like comedy's the linking force between people, because it doesn't matter what race or ethnicity or gender you are. I think it brings everyone together to this relatability where you can have someone in a room together, different types and backgrounds and stuff, and have a good time together, and laugh at things together. I always felt like comedy was like this big uniting force that we kind of had in our society that was more powerful than people gave it credit to.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
Looking at what you've done and kind of always put yourself out there, that's really respectable. I feel like
I appreciate that, man. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you try stuff. It's something happened in our world where if you try and it doesn't work, you're a loser. But it's like, I've tried. You try certain stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's what art is.
You got to shoot your shot. You know what I mean? You got to take a chance. You don't know what it's going to turn out, but hell, I feel like it's always, you kind of live with regret for not trying something you always maybe wanted to, or, had a urge to try because you were either pigeonholed or thought that this might, change the perception of others have on you. Honestly, that's admirable to try different things and give it a shot. And at the end of the day, at least you can look in a mirror and say, hey, I did it. No matter how it turned out, I'm not in control of that, but at least I tried it.
Okay. I agree, dude. I agree. That's what art is. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's like, you can't try. If people don't let you try, then that's just stifling.
Mm-hmm. To look back, you've been part of the Scream franchise and Mask franchise, and they're talking about rebooting them and doing them over. How does it feel to kind of be at the forefront when this was an original concept? You were part of the, in a sense, originals, and now we've come to a point where things are being rebooted that you were originally. Is this something that you would want to be part of again? How do you feel about, in a sense, having some of these iconic franchises that you've been part of now talked about rebooted for a new generation?
Very fortunate, very, very lucky that I've been a part of something that has really just been part of pop lexicana, pop lexicon, Americana, pop culture. Scream has transcended movies. It's not just a horror movie anymore. It's just a great piece of movie, great piece of pop entertainment. So I'm very fortunate, and The Mask too. The part of it. Tremors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very fortunate. You know what I mean? I mean, like when the aliens come, they're gonna know certain things, and they'll probably see 1 or 2 or 3 of those movies and go, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah.
I've been lucky.
Man, speaking of lucky in that, I'll be honest. I remember back in the day, there's no other girl crush you could have besides Jennifer Love Hewitt. I was like so jealous of you, man, and pissed at some point growing up. I'm like, you are the luckiest guy on the planet for dating the it girl of at least my generation. You know, I'm 34, so growing up in the 90s and stuff. Man, what a life. To think that you're single, it's almost unfathomable, you know, watching this special. I'm like, man, if I just had a day in the life of Jamie Kennedy, you know, especially back then, that would have been pretty damn cool.
It was a very special time in my life, and I was very lucky, and we were very, you know, it was a great time, and I still care about her. She's pretty sweet.
That's awesome. Jamie, thanks so much, man, for taking the time to talking to me, and it's cool because a lot of my friends are behind this project, so it's cool to finally get to see it and see you do, you know, once again, you kind of go back to the start of what you've done, and comedy's been your thing, man, and seeing that you know, still getting it done, you know, throughout all these years in Hollywood, so a lot of props to you. I hope you continue putting out stuff, movies, and comedy, and, you know, voiceover work, and I hope to see you maybe direct one day. But just wanted to say, man, I admire your work you've done over the years, and keep on being an original.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Listen, bro. Thank you so much, man. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Okay, be safe out there.
You too, Jamie. Take care, buddy.
Thank you.